Yo YouTube, Cobalion Council here, and today I'm here with another episode of Teachy TV. And in today's episode I'm talking about what I think are the best competitive moves in this metagame. If you think you already know this stuff, be sure to check out next episode, next lesson, and it will probably be about good abilities. What abilities do I think are the best in this metagame. So, if you are wondering what I think are the best competitive moves in this metagame, let's hop right into it. And before saying anything, I do want to mention that yes, moves like Earthquake, Fire Blast, Plague Rough, Moonblast, Hyper Voice with a certain elate, Return with a certain elate, stuff like that is really powerful. It's really damn powerful. And a lot of priority moves are indeed very good, like Sucker Punch or Aqua Jet or Mach Punch, stuff like that is pretty powerful, but I think they're good moves, but these moves don't specifically focus on damage output. They focus on the role that they bring with a team, which is pretty nice. I mean, I could have put moves like Ice Beam on this because Ice Beam is great offensive typing. I could have put Stone Edge on it because Rock is a very good offensive typing, but I wanted to pick these moves because I think they're a little tricky, which really helps him because this metagame does focus a lot around tricky moves. I do want to mention that a lot of setup moves like Calm Mind, Tail Glow, Dragon Dance, Swords Dance, stuff like that is indeed really powerful because just because you can boost something like Dragon Dance is an amazing offensive move in this metagame, I feel like, because it gives you a lot of offensive prowess. But to cover all the setup moves there are is a little bit ridiculous. So let's get into the first one, and the first one is Scald. And why is Scald so good? Because a lot of people think Scald is the best move in this metagame. It's because if it's stab, it's base 80, so it's based 120 power, which is pretty good. So if a ground type or rock type or fire type is scalded, is gonna hit for a lot of damage. But second of all, the thing that a lot of people like it about it is that 30% chance to burn. And the 30% chance to burn is pretty damn nice because burning stuff, just paralyzing stuff, like Thunder Wave, is amazing in this metagame, I feel like, because a lot of teams are really crippled by a burned or paralyzed partner, and forcing switches with the great offensive typing that is water in this metagame, and also having a possibility to like burn switch-ins is really damn good. And it's better than Will-o-Wisp in my opinion because it does force chip damage, which is really nice. So that's why Scald is so good. Second of all, knockoff. Knockoff, I feel like, is like in that top percentage as well, just because of the fact that you can knock off something item. If you don't know what knockoff does, it's a 65 base move, base power move, and it does get 1.5 to damage when its opponent is using an item that can be knocked off. Like a Megastone, it won't get that boosted amount because you can't knock off a Megastone, but it's really good when you do. And when a stab knockoff from like a life orb hits you, it just might kill you, and that's the great part about knockoff. Removing items in League player, for instance, in League play, it really hurts your opponent because bringing an item in League play is very important, but as well as in a metagame. When your Heatrans lefties are knocked off, it doesn't have recovery, which sucks for the Heatran. So that's why knockoff is pretty good, and I think knockoff is pretty good as well. Third move, Stealth Rock. Yes, Stealth Rock, you might have heard of it, but Stealth Rock is so good, man. Stealth Rock is indeed very good. What Stealth Rock does is it forces damage on your opponent. When you force a switch, when Stealth Rock is up, it either does 6% to your opponent, 12% to your opponent, 24 when it's super effective, and to like a Charizard, which is 2 times effective by or 4 times weak to it, it's 50%, which is amazing. I mean, forcing Stealth Rock damage, and in like top competitive play, you switch a lot, and every time that opponent takes that chip damage might bring it in range for certain attacks, and that's the power of Stealth Rock, and it hurts so many Pokemon, which is so great. And it forces moves like Defog or Rapid Spin, which if your opponent needs to go for Rapid Spin or Defog, you get momentum, which is so good and so great. And that's why Stealth Rock is so amazing, and it's actually been amazing since Gen 4. So let's move on to the fourth move, being Yellow Magic itself, Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is just a basic move that paralyzes you. The only downside of Thunder Wave is that it doesn't hit electric or ground types, but Glare does. If you check out Glare, yeah, Glare is basically the same as Thunder Wave, but you can also paralyze electric and ground types, but not a lot of people or Pokemon get it. Like maybe a Serperior or Dunsparce gets it, but just paralyzing your opponent is so good, because first thing is that they have a 50% chance to move, and their speed is for 1/4 of what it used to be. So like an offensive mon that was about to sweep you, like your amazing, for example, Megalopony was about to sweep everything, yada yada yada, and it gets paralyzed. It's crippled. It's crippled so much to the opponent that pretty much your Clefable here outspeeds and kills. Bam. That's it. And that's the power of Thunder Wave and paralyzation. And in this metagame, it really, really hurts. So Yellow Magic. And the next one is of course Rapid Spin and Defog, but I do feel like Rapid Spin is the better one. I will go over this one fairly quickly, because Rapid Spin might be good just to keep off spikes, Stealth Rock and toxic spikes off the field, but it gives you your opponent's offensive momentum, which sucks. But all in all, if it can remove your hazards on your side, it's pretty damn good. The second to last, I believe, is Will-o-Wisp. Will-o-Wisp is pretty nice just because of the fact that you can burn stuff. What really sucks is the accuracy. It at 50% is a lot of larger than it seems, because a lot of the time you do miss that Will-o-Wisp, but a lot of offensive mons or even defensive mons don't like to take a burn, because you can whittle down, slowly whittle down. I mean, to whittle down, Toxic is a better move because Toxic racks up endurance, but Will-o-Wisp is nice if your opponent like this is looking at this team. For instance, if this was a real team, which it could be, it wouldn't be that good of a team, but you don't really mind the burn. You do. If you have an aware or magic guard, you don't. You do. That's the power of Will-o-Wisp. It burns your opponent, and having, because if you are burned, your attack stat is just half, which is so great. Because let's take Lopunny again. Lopunny doesn't get that kill, which is pretty crazy. So Will-o-Wisp is a pretty good move in that case. Another move that I wanted to talk about is Taunt. Taunt pretty much prevents moves like Will-o-Wisp. It prevents moves like Thunder Wave. It prevents moves like Stealth Rocks, which is pretty good because this metagame is really heavily around moves like indeed status moves or boosting moves like Dragon Dance. That's a main focus on this metagame right now. I feel like setup is really prevalent, and Taunt pretty much shuts that down. So that's pretty much the reason why Taunt is so good. And the rest of the moves, well, it's just based pretty much on how good of an offensive typing is that typing. I mean, Focus Blast is pretty nice at damage output and special fighting, but you miss a lot. It sucks. If you look at this, Iron Head is pretty nice for fairies, but when it's neutral it's decent. So, but if you look at like a dragon ground type with like Stab Earthquake, hits so much of the metagame, and I love it for that. But mons with like Levitate or Flying types pretty much laugh at you, but you have Stone Edge for that. A move I do want to point out, and I have to thank my good friend Latios. Draco Meteor is one of the offensive moves that I really want to pretty much tell you guys about, because a lot of the times people ask me like Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor on my Latios, and I'm here at my house laughing at my computer screen, because you should always run Draco. Like Draco Meteor 130 base dragon type move is such a nuke of a move. Some typings and some, like, a lot of people hate running like double edge on certain mons like Mega Kangaskhan with double edge. It doesn't matter. The side effect might be shitty, but if you can grab those kills, like Latios is an offensive mon, with a Draco he can kill some things, which is amazing. And like dragon typing, one of the best offensive typings there is in this metagame. Like Draco Meteor is such an amazing move. Of course, Fairy type shut that down, but some stabs are pretty damn nice. That's pretty much all I have to say in this video. I gave you some nice insight of moves that are really prevalent and good in this metagame, I feel like. If you do have questions, you can ask them in the comment section below or on Twitter. I am pretty active on that as well. And that's pretty much it. So, like I said, in the next episode I will talk about abilities and what abilities I feel like are the best in this metagame. So, be hyped for that. And I'll see you tomorrow in another video, which is going to be a PU live with a friend of mine. So, I will see you guys later. Peace. And I change it. Iron Head for main stab. Sacred Sword, so steel types are not a safe. Switch him. Or dark types like Crocodile. Shadow Sneak, just as Ghost Stab. And it's pretty nice. Priority, and like I said, Sword Dance for some pressuring. Yeah, like a pressuring move. So, the next mon I went ahead and picked up Tornadus. And why did I pick up Tornadus? Well, I needed to have a levitating mon or a flying type.